And before we get started, those of you at home probably wondering, what is BTD Battles and what are the rules? So why don't we walk you guys through that?
Do I hit confirm?
All right, there it is. Bloons TD Battles, better known as BTD Battles. The games are played in what's called Assault Mode. There are various different modes that you can choose from. The map that we're going to be using, Battle Park, and all towers are available at Tier 4. The game is going to end when one player's health runs out. Each of the players are going to start with 150 on their health meter, and as you and I saw during some of the practice rounds, Maria, people can hang at 150 for quite some time, but then all of a sudden things can go wrong. And we did see an incredible comeback at one point during some of our rehearsals. So don't think that just because one player is dominating early on, that means that everything is over. You'll notice a third person up at the podium right now. That is our ref. Wave hi, ref. There he is. He is setting up the tablets to ensure that all the gameplay is fair, making sure that both players are set up properly. Before we get underway, each of the players will let us know when they are ready to go, and then you'll start to see smoke come off their fingertips as they go to work on the first of their best of 3 matches. It's going to be BTD Battles. And I think Sinsin's chatting with Vixen here. A little bit of pre-game antics. You ladies ready to go?
No.
Thumbs up? No, they're still loading out. Obviously, there's some preparations that are associated with what they're doing here. You see the loadouts for their towers. Both players have made their selections, and now the map is up and ready to go. The health meters have been filled up, and it's time to get underway. Here we go, the very first game between Miss Vixen and Sinister in this first matchup here. And the basic premise of the game is to get the balloons off your screen by using a variety of different weaponry. And every time you get a balloon off your screen, guess where it ends up? On your opponent's screen. So you can put a lot of pressure on who you're playing against. 30 seconds into the match, and you'll notice the right side of the draw, which is Sinister dealing with a big overload of balloons. It looks like smooth sailing for Miss Vixen right now. Both players have used the Wizard Tower as their choice in the loadout here.
I didn't mean to click. I didn't mean to click on that. How do you undo it?
This is crazy, Maria. They're actually chatting.
What the hell?
I mean, I don't know if I could ever break focus from this game. It seems pretty intense, but hey, we're seasoned vets.
It's all good. I'll let it slide this time.
Whoa, looking away from the tablet, talking to each other. I mean, these two are relaxed or just not aware of what's on the line. I can't tell which of the two.
We should maybe throw something at them like, catch.
I'm sorry, Senpai.
It looks like Miss Vixen is being a lot more aggressive with the balloon she's sending out. You can see there's a little bit of a build-up now for Sinister.
It's like that I Love Lucy episode with the chocolates on the conveyor belt. Am I dating myself? I think I am right now.
And as you had mentioned, Ollie, both of the players start with 150, and it's about who gets their score depleted fastest.
Yep.
That is the person who loses.
Yep, both health meters are still at 150, and it looks like Sinister is breaking out the heavy artillery. She's got the missile launcher going, and she needs it. Look at all that fast and furious action being sent her way. The balloons just mounting up.
And now, for the first time, we see Sinister starting to lose a bit of health. She's down to 137 here.
No cause for alarm, of course. But you notice a little bit less chatter once the heat gets put on and the pressure's going during the match.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like round 6, round 7 is kind of when things could start getting dicey, so they might need their full focus at this point. Sinister down to 122.
Oh! I didn't even realize. I use them all the time. I can't use them. I didn't know.
Oh, and Sinister's really starting to take some major hits here, down to 81. Can she hold on?
I didn't mean to use this. What is that?
Not at the time.
I gotta
know what something is. Sinister.
I don't know.
She's got that grin on her face like the clock is ticking on her. The bell tolls. She's got 7 health, and she's just hands off. She knows it's a wrap. Victory for Miss Vixen in the first game. Well done.
The tax used the lightning thing.
The tack one? Yeah, I know. It's like,
I didn't know that.
I know.
I
Luckily,
know
I was
that.
able to counter that. I was like, okay, I got this.
Oh, God.
I know, Sinsin, I know you don't want to relive that moment, but we got to go back to a quick replay from that first game. I know it may be a little PTSD, a little bit too soon, but let's take a look at how Vixen came through. Yeah, that was the look on her face, little double fist pump, karate mode.
My nose. I'm sick, okay? Just wipe my nose.
Well, his fan club, definitely a popular entity online, and he's going to be fired up. What's your favorite app out of the 5 that we can choose from, Bodhi?
Probably this one.
This one. So that's good news then.
Yeah.
Having lost the first match in Pac-Man. Both players are getting set up right now with their loadouts, picking their weapons, picking their towers.
Two man.
Hopefully I'll win this. It'll be a tiebreaker on pool.
I disagree.
All right, both players are set, so let's get underway.
And Bodhi gonna look for some redemption here in BTD battles. Otherwise, Northern Lions gonna take down this match.
And he did say this is his strongest game. This is the one he likes the most. So, Sinister Bear confirming that as well. Have you had a chance to play against him in Bloons
No,
yet?
but I saw him play it, and he's
You're like,
really
"Uh-oh.
good.
I thought I was good.
This is my worst game, no.
Don't tell everyone, Sin. There's 30 grand on the line. What are you thinking right now? Maybe it's her best game, Maria. Maybe she's really the poker player.
We'll have to see what level she's on this bluff.
Exactly. Both players steady at the 150 health figure, making quick work of most of their balloons already. And the loadout really has a lot to do with how you end up doing in any given match, how it matches up against the other player's strategy and their loadout, right?
Yeah, I should have probably went for like cheaper towers, to be honest. Like she was sending, I lost this one, but she was sending a lot of balloons towards me, and I just couldn't upgrade. I couldn't upgrade my towers fast enough because they're so expensive. I should have just gone with all ninja monkeys.
The Ninja Monkeys actually, you know, during the rehearsals that I watched some people playing, they were definitely looking like they were effective. But, you know, they're not like the sexy, glamorous kind of choice, right?
But they work good for fast matches, probably like these. So.
Well, I don't see any Ninja Monkeys out there. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do on the left side.
He has them.
Bodhi, who's the guy who loves this match, loves this game, I'm sorry, doesn't have any Ninja Monkeys out there quite yet, but look, he's got the right equipment to make quick work of all the balloons that are being sent over.
Yep.
We're in round 7 now. Both players still have their full 150 health.
2 minutes into the match. Yeah, both players clearly having made some good decisions so far. Not really under any stress. And this, I think you'd agree, Simpson, this is a game out of the 5 that we have to choose from that involves the most strategy.
Yes, I think so. I thought I was good at balloons in high school, but I'm taught wrong.
You've been taught
High school
otherwise?
as in, like, last year.
Thank you.
Oh, and it looks like for Bodhi, he's got a little bit of a, just cleared it though. Starting to come down a little bit fast and furious for him. He managed to avoid disaster.
Well, the speed picks up as the rounds get deeper and deeper. Up to round 12 at this point, and a little bit of pressure it looks like for Bodhi on the right side, trying to keep up with the onslaught. Banana trees are out. Selling those nanners. Put a little more in your bank. Lets you buy more balloons. Lets you buy more upgraded weaponry.
There's a real fruit theme among all these games,
There is a real fruit
I
theme.
feel like.
There's fruit in Pac-Man. There's fruit in Bloons. And of course, fruit and Fruit Ninja. This is where the ninjas start to struggle, right? I mean, they just can't keep pace with, look at this, the assault. And it looks like the first hit just experienced by Bodhi down to 120.
Huge
119.
onslaught, kind of on both sides, but, and there it goes.
Lion able to weather that storm, though.
We are up to over 4 minutes now.
Impressive. Bodhi just hanging in there. Looks like he stabilized the damage, a little triage, and he's good to go. You got to stop the bleeding. If you panic, then it's over.
Oh, and it looks like it's coming down. Just raining balloons on both sides, though. Still holding strong for both players. Northern Lion still with full health.
Oh, looks like the blimp has been engaged.
The blimp, oh my goodness.
Look at that. Oh, you don't want Operation
This
Hindenburg.
might be it.
Definitely
He's
not.
done
Dropping
Oh,
bombs, and it looks like the blimp move by
Wow.
Bodie at the right time
Good
there.
job.
Out of
Pulled it
nowhere.
out. Are you kidding me? He put the Hindenburg on Lion.
Bounce a pool.
Nice.
Oh,
One of my
man.
worst games.
And it just seems like Northern Lion was really caught off guard. He went from full 150 health in a matter of seconds down to nothing.
Now let's take a look back at what I hope is the pivotal moment here. There it is. Bodie, you had to have known that once you sent the Zeppelin over, it was a wrap.
I think I looked over and his hands were off.
Bodie's like, I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Yeah.
You made fun of me.
It's
You
like
made
the
fun of
mic
me
drop.
after the ad situation. He doesn't hold a grudge at all or anything like
If I had I don't want to spend $1 to unlock it.
How about, you know what, that's funny. So we talk about games and apps, and obviously you guys spend a lot of time playing. What is the most any of you have spent on a single game in unlocking features?
Oh.
Admit it.
Oh yeah, no, I like $2,500 on Hearthstone. Are you kidding? Like, yeah.
Maybe wondering why we had a little bit of a delay there. We were trying to stack the deck in Anthony's favor just to make things even. No, that's not what we were doing. Everything is equal here. Players have picked their loadouts, their towers, their weapons, and we are underway with BTD Bloons. And right now, you're noticing something right off the top, Sky?
Yeah, I just don't want to say it because I obviously, you know. But
No, I don't know. Why don't you want to say it?
because if they listen, they'll know. This is right.
Strategy.
What I will say is usually when you play Bloons, even if it's just the regular tower defense games, there's two ways to go about it. You either start with a strong tower, or you get a couple of weak ones. And both of those have easy punishment methods, which we're seeing right now. That the Magic Monkey
look at
can't
this.
take too much. But this person went out of his way to just bombard him with blue ones. Now this won't be
Look
the
at
end
this
of it.
bombardment. I mean, but take a look. I mean, drawing first blood as Anthony Kong fan, as you see Cobalt taking hits right now.
But,
a massive tower of balloons coming his way.
That's how you punish a one-tower play. You want to
Yep.
make sure you get everything on the field. However, it's definitely not over. And if this doesn't close out too much life, he'll have a very strong comeback getting all of those points that you just sent over. And he's going to try to close it out earlier, probably earlier than round 18. But Anthony is just chilling over there. But see, do you see how he has it under control now? The amount of money that he probably got
Stabilized.
is insurmountable compared to
Well, when you're able to weather the storm, you're rewarded, and then you
Oh,
can reinvest
and just
into
as I
an
am
offense.
saying that, pinks are just flying.
Oh, look at this, down to the 90s now for Cobalt. Could Anthony have been sandbagging, building Cobalt up to think that he didn't have a
But
shot?
no one
really
knew about
looking
his
good right
modeling career, so I bet.
now. Right, he was
I
keeping all kinds of secrets from
I
us.
bet he was lying, you know?
Maria, don't you crave popcorn in moments like this?
Yes, I mean, I'm listening to them talk over on this side, and there's so much, you know, they're calling like, okay, I think he's going to do this next, and then he does, and I'm like, just really
Lightning
amazed
monkey?
that they're able to anticipate all of the next moves that are about to happen.
Yeah, Bodie and Vixen have had their fair share of experience playing BTD Bloons, but so far it's 150 to 90 in favor of Anthony Kongfan. If he can hang on with this lead and see it through to the finish, he will be the victor.
But you have to remember that this game, again, there are two ways to play, and now we have the advantage on the other side, the Cobalt, because they want to close it out in one attack. They want, like, you don't want to waste a bunch of money giving them money. When you attack, you want it to be decisive. So I'm not sure if that's going to be enough damage that Anthony put on Cobalt, because Cobalt's going to save him and probably smack him with some inescapable
If you end up emptying the armory, you're in bad shape if it doesn't kill your opponent.
completely. You're in a pretty big disadvantage, because if you look on the right side here, not many balloons are coming his way.
Right,
Well,
he's
on
not
this
getting
side,
paid.
that lightning monkey is putting in work.
But this is a situation where you want to plant some banana trees and start getting paid if you have the resources to do so.
Yes, you want to get as much money as possible just so you can make some inescapable, unfair things. And it looks like we have an emote. Well done. And Anthony with the good sportsmanship.
A fat finger did again.
Track your personality and body. We are going back to the game.
Relax, Sky.
And we are going to just go ahead and see what happens here. Black Bloons being completely dismantled by the Lightning Monkey. An absurd, broken tower. Incredible. Should be banned. But it looks like exactly what I said. And the big finish as Anthony realizes his life is over.
Oh, boy.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
All of a sudden, they lulled us into a sense of comfort and complacency, and Cobalt Streak just dropped the anvil on Anthony Kongfan at the end there, and is your victor. Cobalt, come on down here, buddy.
What was happening? You couldn't build up to be
I thought I dropped my ninja tower,
Yeah.
and it didn't drop.
Oh, okay.
So I was like,
oh,
God.
no, this can't be right. I was like, no.
Get my ninja tower.
Anthony, head over and hang out with Maria. Cobalt, come on down here, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course, Sky. Let's make some room for the man. He's calm, cool, and collected and moving on to the quarterfinals. So, I get nervous when somebody gets me down in health in that game and I'm down to 90 and I'm looking at their 150 and it just keeps coming and it just keeps coming and I'm not sure what to do next.
Yeah.
You worried at any point during that
I
match?
was shaking. I'm still shaking the entire time.
Let him see. Hold on. Show him that because that happens to me, but even
I'm
the pros.
shaking. No, I get like that sometimes. It makes me play better. I play better under pressure. The thing about Bloons is, I made a very big mistake at the start. I haven't played the tablet mode. I play on Steam. That's where I put all my experience. Okay. So the drag and drop, I thought I drag and dropped the ninja right in the perfect time to catch my leaking, but it just wasn't. It actually didn't place the tower. So as soon as I realized that, I was like 20 balloons down. I was frantically putting out my ninja tower to upgrade it. So it messed my strategy up a little bit, but I was able to recover.
Well, multitasking is obviously a part of the dexterity portion of what makes you a good player at this particular game. Yeah?
Absolutely. You have to know your counters. You have to be aware of what your enemy or your opponent is actually building, so you can build the counter balloons.
Yeah.
To maybe get to that defense, like whether they have no stealth detection, you put camos out there, or maybe they're going heavy bombs, and then the black balloons are really good at getting through all the explosive bombs.
Yeah.
Like that.
Speaking of explosive bombs, Anthony's probably feeling like he dropped one on him just about now. He's standing by with Maria. It was Ginsu.
And I think the competitors are getting ready for the second game, which is BTD Battles. Looks like the ref gave them the thumbs up. And let's begin.
Let's connect.
All right, Tangent Gaming, we've got BTD battles going on. You know these two competitors. What do you know about them and this game in particular?
What I do know is if we've been watching this game, we've seen a lot of comebacks happening, particularly late game. So the first thing that you have to do is watch your opponent. You see what their strategy they're doing, but don't underestimate them because they can very easily turn it around late game. So right now, what they're going to want to do is balance between being super aggressive or conserving their currencies to be able to advance their units. It's imperative though that they use some restraint because if you do tap yourself out in the mid game, you might not have the finances to be able to push through in the last bit.
So would you say that, it's about kind of conservation, preservation, and also just the simple fact of expect the unexpected, right? Because in Pac-Man or another game like that, you can see your score, you know how well you're doing, but in this, you don't know what your opponent might throw at you later on.
It's imperative to know what your strategy is going to be, what it is going to be going into it, because there's just so much that can change along the way. If you're going to commit to a strategy and you decide to midway through break away from that, you might just have completely sacrificed all of your units and everything that you can to get back into the game. So you're going to have to make the decision between committing with your initial strategy or finding some way to come back in mid game. But so far, from what I've seen, it's really hard to do that if you've already got an established strategy.
Well, so far in this game, it kind of looks like Brian might have practiced this one a bit more, right?
It looks like it. His defense is going really good.
Looks like Brian still has his full health of 150 left. Both players have their full health.
Fairly similar placing to the turrets that they've got. And it looks like Elohim utilizing the wizard to very effective effect.
So if you had to pick, at what round do you feel like you start kind of seeing what the end game for a certain opponent is going to be? Where would you say that kind of breaking point is?
I've seen matches end before round 10. I'm not sure exactly where the sweet spot is. Bodhi might be able to level 9-ish.
Yeah, Miss Vixen saying level 9 here.
Yeah, it's like around level 9-ish because then you start getting into the metal balloons and the level 10. So if you don't have your established something that'll destroy those heavy balloons on level 10, then you're kind of screwed. So.
It's like the make or break hump for that part, and when geez, just watching. They both have such similar strategies right now, and they're having a hard time even getting anything through.
And the big thing is even when someone is like completely set up, you can still take advantage of what they decided to pick. So if you send in like a Zeppelin or something big at the end, they might have built for crowd control and not for big damage. So that one move right at the end, when it looks like you're going to lose, might end up making it for you. So it is surprisingly hard to tell until you basically know who's going to win.
Once the late game starts rolling around, you can clearly see that it gets a lot more stressful.
Things do seem to be getting to that point right now, and that was a very quick end for Elohim. As we have said throughout this game, that you don't know what your opponent's late game, end game strategy is going to be, and sometimes it could end just like that. So now they are tied 1 game apiece.
The worst one.
What's the worst one?
Crossy Road.
It's subjective.
And as we prepare for
Not
the
everyone
third
agrees.
game, Disney's Crossy Road, let's get to know Elohim a little better.
It certainly is, as both players are in position and getting ready to play BTD battles. And a lot of players, Brian, have talked about how this is the skill game. This is the strategy game. This is the one that has less to do with other variables and more to do with how well you approach things.
Yeah, my background is pretty much entirely in competitive strategy gaming, which is why this was a game that I felt like maybe I could get an edge at. Interestingly enough, I actually had a viewer of my channel reach out to me who was a top competitive Bloons player. He said he had 13,000 games played on Bloons and shared his strategy with me. He's like, if you haven't played much before and other people haven't played a ton before, it's going to be hard for them to beat this. And Hafu, we've actually competed together in Hearthstone events before, and we were on opposite sides of the bracket, so I shared some secrets with her. We'll see if they pay off.
We'll see how they pay off here, huh? Gassie, did you get some background intel on Bloons on BTD?
He does not seem how do you play
He's
this
like, I
game.
can't, no, stop bothering me. There's money on the line. Leave me alone.
Yeah, definitely the sort of game that'd be in Hafu's wheelhouse.
We're underway. Both players have picked their loadouts, their towers, their weaponry. And how you spend your money off the top is so key to how you end up getting off to a decent start, or maybe how you end up in the later rounds.
Yeah. Interestingly, Hafu was actually going with a different strategy. It looked a lot like the one that Cobalt and Elohim was using, which is actually very similar. The end goal is a rush in a particular round, one of the earliest that you can get a significant threat in terms of the balloon rush.
And you see both players have put the banana plants out there, and they are farming money to set themselves up to be able to spend more on bombarding their opponents with balloons.
Or emotes, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the early rounds in Bloons are about managing your build defensively as well as trying to bolster your own economy. That's the reason we see the players sending balloons, because sending balloons to your opponent costs you money but increases the amount of money that you make in future rounds.
Of course, it also serves as a distraction while your opponent is focused on trying to tend to the onslaught. They can perhaps not be paying enough attention to their own strategy.
It does force them to react to what you're doing, and if they have a strategy like building the banana farms to try and increase their economy, can put them under pressure earlier than they'd like.
The real-time strategy genre of gaming is wildly popular. I mean, this is probably responsible for some of the biggest proliferation in gaming, but I've never seen it distilled to something so simple.
Yeah, tower defense style games are a really, like you said, distilled version of the big picture macro and micro decision making that you see in a lot of larger RTS titles as well.
Well, both players are at the 150 health. We've seen this pretty often. Not a lot of balloons being sent over by either player, but that could change. People kind of wait in the wings, play possum a little bit.
And it's also important to pay attention to what your opponent's defenses are and what kind of balloons can be good against them, because certain builds defensively can be very vulnerable to particular sorts of balloons, and if you notice that, you can potentially send things that they'll have a lot of trouble dealing with.
I'm not an actual programmer, but I will say I thought it was an oversight that you can't send balloon animals over. Like, why can't I get a weenie dog, or, you know what I mean, like a crown?
Or a
something?
Mickey, perhaps?
Yeah, like a Mickey head. Well, they're looking like hearts now. Over on the right side of the screen, you can see Gassie fending off the attack. And you got the ninja out there.
Yeah, both players with super similar plans here. I mean, this is one of the things in an event like this, if you feel like you have a strategy that isn't particularly impressive and you see someone use a particular strategy, you can adapt to that. And then, well, maybe someone adapts one level further than that. And which of these loadouts really ends up coming out ahead in the end?
And it looks like a wizard tower has been added to the mix now. And you got 3 banana farms on the right there for Gassie. He is printing money. It's like the U.S. Mint.
Well, the more banana farms you build, the more you're investing in them, and thus the more you kind of need to wait for them to pay off. Over time, the banana farms will give you additional economy, but they do impact your ability to respond right away. And this is round 13. This is where you see these camouflage balloons starting to come in, and this is actually exactly what happened.
A huge assault now. Oh, and the first blood has been drawn by Hafu, and you see her back there. She's got her hands together. She's just waiting for this to play out. And sure enough, she emerges victorious by defeating Gassie in the BTD battle. And a lot of people were concerned that Hafu was the silent assassin, and she has proven her mettle here. Gassie, you can head over to hang out with Maria. Hafu, come on down here. Don't get too close. I'm scared of you, girl.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, Brian. Thank you. Getting high fives. It looked like things were pretty neck and neck. We're going to take a replay in a minute here, I'm sure, but it looked like you guys were both waiting in the wings. You had really similar strategies to start things off in that BTD battle, right?
Yeah. I mean, I actually didn't sleep last night, so I'm a little out of it.
Like, not at all?
I think I got like 3 hours of broken sleep.
So wait, why were you up so late? Because it's Vegas and you were having a good time, or?
No, I live in Vegas. So,
okay.
I just had some things come up, but.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at the replay. Because what came up for Gassie was some bad news toward the end. When you stuff the guy's screen with that much to deal with, things can go south real quick. And it was. Did you know that that's how you were going to approach the match right at the outset? You were going to kind of wait in the wings?
This is really cheesy. It's kind of the one that everyone else has been using, and we're like round 7, so we've seen almost everyone play.
I was really disappointed you didn't throw the blimp out there because that's my personal favorite, but that's okay.
We didn't get to the blimps yet.
All right.
I wanted to win there. That's the whole point of the strat.
No,
also,
it's okay.
because you guys put the roll on today.
You can't do a blimp for me or what? Like
next time.
I'm so disappointed. I'm just going to send it over to Maria.
Okay.
The clutch melon. I love that. All right, so now you're up 1. You're up 1 zip. We're gonna move on to BTD battles. I don't know if you're actually gonna play or just hang out on the couch. It seems like you feel like either way the outcome would be the same. But as we've seen, the underdogs can come out. I know you're tipping the hat to Cobalt in this one, but you just pulled it out in Pac-Man. So let's get you guys set up.
And now I know.
I'm feeling good. Still feeling good. Yep, over here.
It's a really popular song.
We're just trying to get both players' tablets brought up to speed here.
Man, that Pac-Man game was absolutely a nail-biter.
Oh, that was probably one of the tightest matches we've seen.
Yeah, both players had such good knowledge of the temperaments of the Pac-Man.
And one another.
Anthony used energy on the first time.
It was actually I was impressed, especially with of course, Northern Lion coming in clutch. One wrong turn, one missed risk, like he would have lost that for sure, but he clutched it out. That's something that I personally struggle with. Like if I'm this close to winning like that, I feel like I would have choked, but he didn't. He was there. He was in it. He didn't like lose focus. He didn't get frustrated. He just did it because he knew it was possible. And that's the game.
All right, let's take a look at these two players' loadouts. And see the powers that are being chosen.
Ooh, I can't wait for those. Good luck, my friend.
Everything is set, and we're about to do some BTD battle. And this is where you said Cobalt shines. This is his game.
Well, if you remember the first match, Cobalt versus Anthony, we saw Cobalt lose like 40 life very quickly because he only had one tower out. But Cobalt, being a veteran of this, knows that if you don't kill him with these early attacks, he's going to win because you're just giving him gold. So the goal here that a lot of people play as, they want to just farm, make sure they do not perish, and then come in with a big, heated wave of something.
But it is risky business because if you can't fend off the attack with that one tower, with that strategy, you're going to end up the victim.
It's always risky business, especially we see Cobalt using the banana tree as we've seen garner a lot of funds for the people that use it.
And we know bananas are high in potassium, which is necessary for some of these battles.
Oh yeah, eat healthy, Amazon.
It's a natural source of energy, Sky.
Of course, I'm allergic to all fruit, so I wouldn't know what that feels like, but...
Oh, so Fruit Ninja's like a therapeutic thing for you.
Low-key.
Oh, and look at this, a lot being sent over Cobalt's way. The attacks from Northern Lion. And we'll see how he weathers the storm.
As you see, like, it's at the end of this all, it's not going to be who has the least amount of life, it's who has 0. So if an attack does not get them out, it's almost wasting money. Now, of course, it could give him time to build up. And knowing that he has a banana tower, one might think, okay, well, I have more firepower than them. But once again, this isn't a game of how long you can live, really. It's when do I have the funds to eliminate my opponent and just send them off with a wave of death.
Yep, and we just want to give a big shout out to everybody watching on Northern Lion's Twitch stream.
Hi.
Out there. Probably rooting their man on. But of course, they're familiar with Cobalt as well, courtesy of the stream that they do together, so it might be tough to pick a favorite. They're emoting now.
Yeah. Destroy and high. Okay, that's weird. What up? We're seeing the absolute top tier tower. The mage monkey, who not only when one lightning bolt hits, as we've seen, has scattered because that's fair, and then for camo balloons that normally can't be seen, these things can hit any regular balloon, and it ricochets and hits all the camo balloons as well. The sniper is also there for camo balloons, but I do want to see what's going on here. The sniper being in an awkward place, as the sniper can shoot from anywhere on the map. Bringing him that close doesn't really...
There's no competitive advantage potentially to placing him in that spot.
There's no colossal advantage. Typically, people like to put them in a place that doesn't matter, that other towers can't be. But of course, no matter where he is, he's still going to do his job here. We've got regenerative Bloons on the field. It's getting a little dicey. Both characters, or both players, at full health.
Yep.
Wow. Ooh. So... If I'm not mistaken, that's the Moab destroyer.
Yep.
So he's anticipating a heavy artillery attack, and this thing shreds through that very, very cleanly. I think that is what's going on. Round 11, things might get a little dicey around 15 or 16, but it's said by a lot of people.
Pace picks up a little bit. And anticipatory decisions being made on the battlefield as Cobalt is starting to send some heat over.
Yep. Cobalt is sending a little bit of heat, getting some heat himself.
Yeah, a lot of heat.
A very nice tate-a-tate we have here. These guys are just going neck and neck. A lot of balloons coming.
There's the assault
and
coming
here's
down
the assault.
From Cobalt. This is where the pain's going to be
brought.
That's it. 143. And it's going down quickly, and
Well done.
Sure enough, Cobalt with that late assault. That's sort of the MO that we've seen.
Yep.
Making quick work of his buddy Northern Lion and leveling this match at one apiece as we get set for the third game.
Good game.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
It's a very, very tricky matchup. Cobalt's strategy, which of course there's a check and balance to everything. But the main thing is to understand that all balloons can be controlled. So it's actually much like many 1-1 control aggro combo. So he's going combo. He's waiting a long time and then hitting you with everything. So you beat combo with aggro. So what you want to do is you want to build like a bunch of little things that are going to like kill the balloons fast, and then I send ceramics. I don't even care. I just want to.
Walk us through what you're looking at here toward the late stages.
So
there was just not enough artillery on the field there.
This is why I value the glue monkey. The glue monkey here has this splash of corrosive acid that slows everyone down and pops the balloons 2 tiers per second. It's ridiculous.
So that would have been a better play.
Yes. I don't think the sniper was necessary. I do think the glue monkey would have made a difference, as I've definitely fought people like him with the glue monkey. And when all those balloons come, the glue is going to be just scattered on everybody. They're going really slow, losing all of their power, and then the mage monkey just knocks them all out.
All right, it's time. The match is now even at 1-1, and we are moving to the third game out of 5. Let's take a look at the rules for BTD battles. This is the most strategy-based game out of the 5 that we have, according to everyone who sat up here on this couch and who's played on that podium. Games are played in Assault mode. The map is Battle Park. All towers are available at Tier 4, and game ends when one player's health runs out, aka they die. 150 on the board for each player. That is the health meter. Box, you ready? Sky, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ref, we all set? All right, gentlemen, they've got their loadouts. Go ahead and get underway with BTD battles.
When I was on the other side, you wouldn't believe the amount of strategy talk in this game in particular. Even for the players that were eliminated, they were still trying to figure out what kind of strategy the players up here were going to employ. And there's definitely something to be said about expecting the unexpected and having a really good endgame strategy where your opponent never sees it come in and then they go from perfect health to nothing.
Yeah, it's almost like playing possum, a little bit of sandbagging. And Cobalt, I know this is your game as you're sitting here and watching things. Nene's immersed in some practice, some last-minute practice on her tablet. What are you seeing early on? Anything stand out or jump out to you?
Never get Cobras.
Never get Cobras.
Never
and
get
you're
Cobras.
seeing them up there.
There's 2 of them up there already.
And why not?
The Cobras are interesting because you can upgrade them where they gradually steal lives from your enemy. But this, in the game like this, you want to go all in. You want to win in one push or not waste money.
So that strategy is one that's a little more progressive, and that's not what's going to tend to win these matches.
They're not predominantly defensive towers. They're more of like utility towers.
Interesting. Don't see any banana farms out there
I
either
haven't
right
seen a Cobra strategy like that, though, with like 4 of them, so maybe he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, maybe Box knows something we don't know.
Maybe.
Well, so far he has been a killer, a beast when it comes to his competition.
It definitely would be interesting to know if some of these players saved up an alternate strategy that hasn't been used, hasn't been seen for these later rounds, so that their opponent does not know what to expect.
Right. They still got something in the bag, some surprises for the later rounds.
You know, Cobalt talking about all in over there, Ali. You and I know something about that. But the thing about all in, sometimes high risk, high reward. Sometimes it's the end of your tournament life,
that's right? And a lot of the attacks are coming. Oh, and the Gatling gun over on Box's side of the equation. And what do we, Cobalt, what do we think about this load up here? Box's side of the screen, really unorthodox looking right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never seen a strategy like that before. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it pans out here at the end. Usually spamming is strong early, but not late game. And I know that from watching Sky, he definitely has a strategy in mind as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they both play out.
Yeah, it's just a different selection of weaponry on the other side, but positioning is virtually identical.
This is ridiculous.
Well, Cobalt, you know, there's a strategy, and then there's a counter strategy, and then there's a counter to the counter strategy. Because Sky hasn't seen this strategy used yet, do you think he will have a proper counter strategy if it comes to that?
I don't know. It seemed like a lot of people, this was the game they were worried about. They hadn't had much experience. I couldn't even tell you. This is anybody's game, honestly. What round are we on?
We got the pro stumped here.
I think a lot of people are just now recognizing how much money BoxBox put together with those Cobras, and now it's getting ugly. And in one fell swoop, Sky goes from 150 to zip.
When I saw I've never seen those before, so when I saw the $80, I was like, wait, you got $80? Like,
and Sky acknowledging, Sky, that we were just talking about not ever having seen that particular strategy before. So once you started him start to compile that big bank and bankroll, you knew it was going to get ugly.
I had one opportunity to win, but I wasn't fast enough. The only way I could have won that was literally I had to sell everything and just hit him with leads. Because like, I've never seen that gun before, so I'm like, what the hell is that? And then when I saw the 80 gold, like all of them spawned 80, I'm like, oh, you're right. Like,
you knew you were in trouble then, right? Box, did you have your strategy in place already? Because we hadn't seen that yet. It was something new. You knew you were going to use that here in the semis?
Cool, right?
I wasn't planning on using that. Usually people have some sort of defense against self-Bloons. and he only had one tower that could stop it. So I just made preparations to sell everything other than a couple towers and send a bunch of stealth as soon as they were unlocked.
So it was sort of a reaction to what you saw on his battlefield.
Yeah, I've never practiced that.
Wow. Well, being
Definitely
able to adapt
worked out.
obviously worked out in your advantage. You're now up 2-1 as we get ready to move forward in competition. But before we do, you know the guy who's got more to say than just about anybody up here. Why not check in with him again? Let's take a listen to Sky. Further ado, Tangent, let's get down to the podium, the arena where battle will be conducted. Ref, are we all set and ready to go? And our first game, BTD Battles, both players are working through their choices, their loadouts to start the match. And they're ready, and we're off in the first game of this best-of-5 second semifinal matchup between Cobalt Streak and Lol Renene, both players starting with 150 in health. And right away, we see a few moves being played. How do you feel about it, Ken?
Cobalt so far has been staying consistent with his strategy since the beginning. It's kind of funny with the interview that he was having before. He was mentioning how being on stage is a totally different element. When we were backstage before, Cobalt said that, you know, my community has seen me stream this game before in the past for a long time rather, and he really doesn't want to put up a poor showing with that. So in this
a lot of expectation.
And in the first game that Cobalt was in, he had a little bit of misplacement, but you can see that he's learned from that. He's doing much better. His wizards got much better placement. And
obviously making adjustments, learning from your mistakes, it's not just something that we talk about in life, but in gaming in particular, it's incredibly important because you now have the knowledge base in order to optimize your play, which is what you're looking to do at any given time.
And in particular in a game like this, if you know what you're doing, there are so many initial blitzing strategies that you can do. So against a particularly new player, you can really take advantage of that. If you were to do a Google search, though, for example, and just look up like strategies, you might find some of these at the top that might be easy to counter. It's sort of like in chess, for example, you can get checkmate in 4 moves, but if you know how to move one piece, you can stop the entire thing. And your opponent, if they started on that, they're now set up for failure.
And as we can see,
Renene dropping a sniper.
The early attacks look to be by Renene on Cobalt.
And Cobalt now begins getting some early farm with those bananas.
Yep. Mining, making that money. Just picked up a cool 180 in the minute that stuff posted. You see him bring up his options, see
and so far,
how he wants to spend the cash.
And so far, I believe Cobalt has mainly just been upgrading that wizard and that ninja. And
so just reinvesting.
Just reinvesting. So obviously, the financial component of this game is incredibly important. At first, you're going to want to, of course, build up your defenses, but as you get around closer to that sweet spot, Miss Vixen was talking earlier about turn 9 being the place where things really begin to pick up and you can start to see a lot of victories begin to happen.
And we're right up close to turn 9 here.
This is the calm before the storm right now. So now we're going to start seeing some more balloons coming out. We're going to see some more economic stabilization going on both sides, but very soon we're going to start seeing, and I'm wondering if it's going to happen with Cobalt because he had far less units and far less upgrades than Renee, so he's got a lot of cash to sit on. I wonder if he's going to go for the blitz.
Well, so far the blitz looks to be conducted by Nene, and it's Cobalt who's fending it off on the left side of the screen. But as we know, the tide can turn so incredibly quickly in this game. If you can weather the storm levied by your opponent, the cash that you pick up as a result, getting rid of all those balloons, you can drop the real hammer. And everybody's been looking for that death blow, that one blitzkrieg that's going to get rid of all 150 of health in one fell swoop. A couple of times we've seen people fall short, and it's come back to haunt them.
Oh, and look like there's a little bit of interference there for a moment.
You're back?
Am I alive?
Yeah, you're live.
And as we were saying before, Cobalt right now, some of the balloons are getting a little bit past his defenses. It doesn't look like he's really taken any damage yet so far.
Not yet.
In the first round, a good number of balloons did sneak by because of the misplacement of the units that he put down. But he still came back with a knockout punch in the end.
Hang on, speaking of
and
knockout
just like
punches,
that, wait a second,
in
here it
trouble
comes. Cobalt
was Lol Renene.
comes in and with the victory.
The death blow.
Just like that.
How quickly things can change, and Nene kind of looks over at us like, well, yeah.
And Cobalt with a sigh of relief.
I gave it the good college try.
Well, Cobalt definitely in his comfort zone when it comes to BTD battles, and Nene, by all accounts, was saying that this is going to be my handicap here. I'm going to give up this first one, but she's got to win 3 out of the next 4. Not impossible, but certainly tough against an opponent who's got the wealth of experience.
I mean, that went just about as predicted as it could have gone. So Cobalt obviously picking up round 1. Renee now is going to have to be playing a lot of pickup to be able to get back into this. But Renee does have solid showings with the other games on this list. But so does Cobalt. They wouldn't be here, obviously, in the semifinals match if they weren't.
Very good point. As we prepare to move on to game 2, we got a little replay there of the final moments of that first BTD Battles match. And we have got things set up for what looks like Disney Crossy Road, if I'm not mistaken.
That, I mean, if he plays calmly and collectively, I feel like he's going to be fine.
Well, so far he's been nothing but Cobalt streak, had a chance to regroup, and now this is his comfort zone. So everybody expecting him to pull this one out, including himself. Both players ready, ref? All right. Let's get underway with BTD Battles as both players have selected their loadouts, and here we go.
Ooh, taking off the jacket. Oh, he threw it. Ooh, yes.
Now, while we're tempted to think that maybe BoxBox was trying to play a little psychology there, I think he's just hot. He's just warm, and he wants to take the jacket off. That's all it was.
Temperature, yeah, he's that. Yeah, that's what he is.
150 each on the health side, and you know what? It looks like he may have employed a similar strategy to the one he did against you off the top, did he not?
No.
Is this how he started off with you?
Absolutely, and I think it's possible that maybe this is BoxBox game that he's not entirely confident in, but this strategy that he's doing, he feels comfortable doing it. He already knows exactly what it is, and much like we saw in Cobalt's earlier plays, he has a Mage Monkey that is going to let all of these go out, and even if he loses 10, 20, 30 health, it's not going to matter for the grand scheme of things. But BoxBox, being a phenomenal Riven player, probably one of the best, if not the best in the world, has great adaptation. So I think we're going to see a lot of counterplay from the two. If BoxBox is able to figure out how to beat that initial onslaught, he could have a shot at actually winning this.
Now, funds are a big part of this game. That's what allows you to reinvest in the towers or the monkeys that you have out there for attacking or defensive purposes. And both players are looking to mine money. 2 different ways, though. BoxBox using the characters, 80 each, the Cobras, whereas on the left, you've got Cobalt, who's going the more conventional route with the banana tree.
Yes, Cobalt actually has such a great command of Bloons. It's actually really fun to watch every time. You can tell that even though it looks chaotic on the left side, that Mage Monkey is garnering him so many points instantly every time. The lightning is going to just shatter on all of the Bloons, taking everything down 1 tier, and he understands that all he needs is one good, strong push. Having that one Mage Monkey put in so much work, he can put all of his funds into one final strike.
Make that monkey work.
Okay. I really want
2
to
banana
see
trees
that.
now on the left for Cobalt. He's really trying to stack some cheddar.
For sure.
Maybe to create a late push there. But look at all of those Cobras on the right.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely think both of them are employing similar strategies of getting as much money as they can.
Just different ways to go about it.
Correct. But remember, like right now, it's contingent upon the round that we are on. That's going to be the power-ups or the balloons they can cast on them. So obviously, none of them can summon mobs right now because they're not far enough. So we'll see at what round does one person decide to take the first step.
Right. Both waiting in the wings.
Which is so important. Cobalt has even told us that he is the person that believes, I want to end it decisively.
Yep. And this is the same strategy that BoxBox used in the semis to get himself here. You got the Gatling gun at work. You got the Cobras up there cashing in on those. You got a couple of banana trees on the other side that are going to help hedge a lot of those resources.
And now this
we're
is
up to round 10, I think.
Very close to when both players feel that it is time to make a statement.
Yep.
And we will see what either of them answer back. We've got lead balloons. He finally he breaks the lead balloons, get through. That might be a little bit of a hostile play from Cobalt. I think Cobalt's doing that just to test the waters, to see what he is and isn't capable of. Answering back, puts more monkeys than 80 gold each again. They both have an alarming amount of funds here. It's going to actually be interesting
to see
what
when are they going to cash in on it, and how are they going to cash in on it? Oh, and there's the assault now by Cobalt.
The assault by Cobalt. The same strategy, regenerative, knowing fully well that he's not at the AoE to take him out.
Oh, and he's getting by.
And there
it is. Cobalt takes it.
There it is.
Game.
Now, the reason why this works so well is because none of his guns were able to shred through enough before they can just regenerate themselves.
And let's take a look back at those final moments there when the action became fast and furious. You see a big assault there by Cobalt at the end, and 3 Gatling guns at work trying to fend them off, but everything got by.
Exactly.
And it was all a formality.
And if there isn't enough piercing, the balloon that appears on front is the only one taking damage. So you could have a green one, but then you got a camel right behind it, and you can't do anything about it.
All right, now you can destroy me in this, and it'll be all good.
All right, so things are all level here in our finals. 1 apiece between Cobalt and BoxBox. We'll be right back to the Paris Las Vegas with more Amazon Champions of Fire Invitational.